Buffzone. I'm Ringo. This is Neill Woelk. We cover Colorado football for the Daily Camera. It may not look like a football atmosphere here, but it is National Signing Day, and so we thought we'd talk a little football recruiting before #1 Kansas takes on the Colorado Buffaloes here in the Coors Events Center tonight. Neill, what are your impressions of the recruiting class Dan Hawkins signed today?
My impressions of the class that Hawkins signed today is the class. Dan Hawkins said it's a very athletic class, but when I look through the class, there aren't any 4 or 5-star guys. When I look at this class is that 3 years from now, you hope that there are 8 or 10 guys that fill good roles in the team. They're not going to be superstars, but guys that become starters, guys that become solid players and contributors, but you're not going to have the superstars. In that vein, you hope that he's recruited some superstars either next year or last year, guys that turn into that. And that's what this class strikes me as, a workman type of class. Guys that if you do well with it, you get 8 or 10 guys that are starters, that are contributors, but nobody's going to be, quote, superstar out of the bunch.
Yeah, the most surprising thing I heard Dan Hawkins say today, I think, was that. He said this is the most athletically gifted class, the most athletic class that he's signed since he got here. And just 2 years ago, he signed a class that had 8 guys who were 4 or 5 stars. You mentioned there are no 4 or 5 stars in this class, so just that was surprising to me that he would say that.
But when you're talking about athletic classes, that means maybe they can run fast, jump high, but are they football players? And that's where it comes into play as far as the rankings and things like that. Can these guys play football? It's great if they can hit a home run and dunk a basketball. That's not going to help them on 4th and 1 at the goal line when they're at Iowa State.
Speaking of 4th and 1 on the goal line, Dan Hawkins today signed 4 tailbacks. Mike Boone. 4 tailbacks. 2 of those guys are bigger guys, and that's what they needed. They have the market sort of cornered on the young or the small
scat backs.
Yeah, the Rodney Stewarts in terms of tailbacks. They got a guy named Cordary Clark and another guy named Justin Torres. Both those kids are big, bruising type of guys who will give them some punch in short yardage.
Last week we talked about a guy who could come in and maybe contribute right away. Those are the guys that I was looking at today. They don't have a guy on 4th and 1. They don't have Demetrius Sumler anymore. They don't have somebody like that. So maybe this is the year that's the guy who comes in on 4th and 1. That 6'2", 240, 30-pound guy that can get you a 4th and 1. So maybe those are the guys that can come in and help right away.
Dan did not get one of the guys who was rated, one of the higher rated commitments that they had going into signing day. Munchy Legault from down in Louisiana decided to sign with Cincinnati. How big of a loss is that, and what are your thoughts about quarterback Nick Hirschman?
Right now, you never like to lose a recruit that is committed to you, because that's a sign that something went wrong in the process somewhere down along the line. But right now, I like Nick Hirschman. He's already here. He's enrolled. He's going to get a good start going. I don't think quarterback, they have Clark Evans also. I don't think quarterback is going to be a big issue with this team in the next couple of 3 years. I see quarterback as a pretty stable position. You have Tyler Hansen, who will just be a junior next year. So quarterback should be a good, should be solid there. It depends on what kind of offense they want to play. I did talk to Dan Hawkins a little bit today. He indicated to me that they're going to want to play more of the pistol offense this year, and he did confirm that. And I think that'll be important for Hirschman this spring to get a taste of that and see what it's like to be taking that snap 3 or 4 yards deep, not 5 or 6 yards deep like in the true shotgun, but in the sawed-off shotgun, as they call it, and see how he likes that. And I think that'll be an interesting development during the spring to see them go into that offense.
We asked Dan a little bit about not getting the in-state guys this year as much as he has in the last few years. He got 2 guys, Kyle Slavin, tight end from Chatfield, Justin Castor, a place kicker from Arvada West. A lot of other guys left the state. When I asked Dan about that today, he ended up talking about how much he liked the 2 guys that he got. He didn't really address, whatever issues led to all the other guys leaving. What is your impression of why that happened?
I think, number one, I think you should always make it a point to get your in-state kids. I think, every coach that's been here has always tried to get the best in-state kids. Dan Hawkins has done a good job of that up to this year. I think last year's record, 3-9, all the talk about Dan Hawkins possibly being fired, the fact that he may not be here a year from now unless he has a great year next fall, I think that certainly scared some kids off. And I hate to see that. I'd like to see some of them stay. Some of them got great offers. I don't blame a kid for going to Notre Dame. I don't blame a kid for going for Stanford. I mean, a Stanford education is worth a lot of money. But you hope that this is a one-year aberration and it doesn't start to become a trend.
All right, so we're here in the Coors Events Center. It's a big game, obviously. All the Kansas fans are here. You'll be covering the game tonight. What is your prediction?
Well, I'd like for Colorado to have Alec Burks. Without having Alec Burks in the lineup, that's taking 16, 18, 20, 25 points away. That's a big hurt right there. I think Colorado's going to play him tough. Colorado always plays Kansas well here. Kansas is coming off a very emotional big win over Kansas State. Tough game for them. They're looking ahead to Texas. They've got Texas coming up on next Monday, and I think they have Nebraska this weekend. So can't blame them for looking a little bit past. I think Colorado stays close for a while, kind of plays with them in the second half. Kansas pulls away down the stretch.
This Colorado basketball team, from what I've seen, has a way of finding a way to just
take it close and take it away from themselves. They've lost so many games. Texas A&M, a dunk in the last 20 seconds. Iowa State, they have a chance to win it on the last shot. The reason I like this team a lot, I really, really like this team, is they're a young, none of these guys are seniors. They have one senior. They're going to be a very good team next year. They need to get over the hump this year, though. Win a couple more games they're not supposed to win, and this is going to be a really fun team to watch in about a year.
If they can somehow win this game, just think of what that would do. That would put some wind in their sails, so to speak, and maybe even a home win like this could maybe give them the confidence to finally put that streak on the road to bed. I think I'm inclined to say more of the same, though. I think they'll play it close, but they won't quite be able to get over the hump tonight.
I don't think they get past Cole Aldrich tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
All right, we'll be back this spring with some spring football. We'll be back with more basketball, and if you want to get a hold of Kyle Ringo, email him. Although he's getting married, girls, time's short.